A buddies. How are thee? Hopefully, okie dokie. So, did you already guess this video's subject? Good. Alright, so, saving you some time, I am coming out as transgender from male to female. It is something that I've been considering in different ways over my lifetime, to the point that eventually something had to give. And that was actually when I had to, well, I don't want to say I had to do it, but when I saw the movie, I saw the TV Glow with my best friend, or one of my best friends, I should say, a best friend. I don't put one over the other, but when we were watching it, a lot of it was familiar to me for situations I've had over my life. And because of that, it kind of is what put me over the edge to say, yeah, I'm transgender and I might have a furry flag that is also a transgender flag, because I don't think you can see the non binary flag to my left. But don't worry about it. It's been actually nice and helpful for these windows to keep the room darker in the morning, because, east side. So that is where I'm going with things, and if you're guessing or wanting to know what my pronouns are and what my name is, that is she/her, and so far Jessie has coincidentally felt like the best fitting name, because there's an old memory where I thought I kind of liked the name Jessica, but I kind of leaned towards Jessie because it was, a little neutral. And that was because a lot of points in my life, I wanted to be, neutral, in the middle. Never wanted to be like more one side than the other. Oh my god, I just did a rude gesture, didn't I? Don't worry about it. Hopefully YouTube doesn't make a big deal about it. Hopefully they don't interpret it that way. But anyways, yeah, that is where things led to. And I can kind of blame Jitterbug also for suggesting I use the same name, which was, ending with a Y, not an IE, which is what the name is intending to be spelled. Jessie. So, yeah, that is where I'm honestly feeling a little bit better in things, and it's been interesting. It's been a relief in some way. It feels, weird because of the idea of, hopefully you can see the Z right here. That is, my name for my real name, Zachary. So going from Zachary to Jesse is certainly a change. And from that, I have to, keep accepting what's ahead, because the whole fear of, I didn't know I come out before to begin with, so there's so many points in life I was denied, I kind of forgot that at one point, yeah, I wouldn't have minded being a tomboy. Hey, hint, hint. Maybe as a kid, I was actually kind of gonna be wanting to be transgender, because every point in my life, I was always like, I hate being a guy in some manner or another, and I always kind of wonder, why wasn't I born a girl? And it's, one of those kind of things where it's like, who do you really talk to about that, unless you go to, an appropriate service, but that takes a process to a process to a process, because insurance frickin' sucks in America. But yeah, it's also where I'm at right now, because I'm trying to get mental health stuff going, but so that's work in progress. But I'm thinking I want to kind of do a little bit of video like this kind of direction more often, because it feels like I'm talking to someone else in a seat, and we're sharing a moment where it's like, hey, I'm taking a moment off of work to say, what's up, how you doing? So I think you're kind of seeing maybe a little change in how I'm talking, because I actually forgot after so long that I lowered my voice on purpose so I, sound more masculine. Because sound like this actually, sounded like, hey, I am Zach. I sound mature. I sound a little older. I sound masculine. Absolutely masculine in the most masculine, manly, macho manner. Ugh. Trust me, I hate having facial hair. I really do. I mean, I tried having a look and it's like, that looks nice. I like it. It looks kind of good. But overall, I don't like having facial hair to begin with, and I didn't like it when I was seeing it come in when I was a kid. Right here, I can still remember that memory, feeling traumatized by a single facial hair. But don't worry about it. It's something that is going to be an overall process that I am willing to have the patience for, and I have been considering this, like I said, a long time in different ways. I just never knew what exactly it was, so I didn't know each point I was considering this before was, all connected. So rather than thinking, oh, this is just a moment right now where I'm trans trending, I am not going to be considering myself trans trending because that is not the type of person I am. I do not want to be that type of person. And you know what? I was so afraid of being that type of person because the idea of me being surrounded by other friends who are transgender and me deciding to say, hey, I'm also transgender, I would think that someone might say, hey, are you trans trending? No, I'm trying to transgend, if that's even a workable word. You know what I mean? So that is where things are at. And with that, I'm really hoping that now since I can let go of so much that I've been really holding on to in order to assume the role as Zach, because any other time my facade had a chance of being broken, I'd be like, no, 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 I'm going to cover this up with some other kind of explanation. Give me a second. Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Okay, we're okay. So this is a lot more different. And my speech is actually probably improving because I am not needing to worry so much about appearing to be, someone I am not when I actually didn't know that was someone I was not because I thought, Zachary is me. Yeah, that's pretty much it. We are who we are. But over time, it's just I had to address eventually. I don't feel how I look. And that is, if you kind of know, it's kind of a classic line for transgender people to say is what I feel on the outside isn't the same as how I feel inside. So that is, where it's the awkward sense of you're born as one thing, and I kind of blame religion for it a little bit. And people decide, oh, no, you were born as a boy, you're staying a boy. So many times. Too many freaking times that happened. And, yeah, not happening anymore. So I'm gradually building the confidence to, be able to say she/her and Jessie, but it's, more online than it is in real life right now because I'm still working on growing out my hair again because I haven't done that in a while since I was living in Oregon. And when I came back, I thought, all right, I'll cut it short for work. It'll be nice and, temperature regulating. So once this was kind of a thing that I was addressing more over this past year, it's where I decided after a certain point is, you know what, I'm growing my hair out because I want to actually have that look like I felt like she felt right before. Because for whatever reason, even when I was a kid, I thought having long hair felt correct. It felt good. It just was like, I thought I would be, it's not just being like a cool thing, but it was just like, I don't know, something felt natural about it. But anyone else would be like, they're not even thinking about that. They're kind of thinking of, what are you doing next as a kid? Not necessarily gender issues in the 90s. And, it didn't really help in the 90s and 2000s how before gay marriage was legal, there was plenty of homophobia, transphobia, etc. My words are made up, but you know what exactly I mean for the emphasis. So, yeah, it didn't help exactly either. So I was going to be like, oh, yeah, I'm bi. I'm just going to say that because I like to be neutral and actually like, both boys and girls. That was my high school time. And it still felt awkward. It still felt like you're going to be, attacked, bullied for your orientation or gender. I live in Illinois, and it was, I guess, lower middle class, and I don't know, ethics were different at the time, but not in recent times, you know how it is. And that was my skin on my chair, rolling over my bone. So, you're going to probably be asking, when am I going to finish this? Well, I am actually really trying to get more. Yeah, I do not like to use those repeated phrases. Let me say in a more natural phrase. Let me say more natural communication. I have been working on a lot of stuff for Planes with Pockets Productions, and I almost said gaming, because I'm also working with a couple other friends slash editors to work on breaking down the past Pocket Dice sessions into parts to be uploaded to the Points with Pockets channel. And there's probably about a good 30 or so sessions to go through, so considering the uploads, or I should say premieres, are normally on the weekend and other media of the channel is mixed in, I can guarantee you we probably have enough content for the next few years at least. I am split my lip because I hate winter. Fuck you, old man winter. Yeah, living in Illinois and the Midwest in winter doesn't really work out too well, and house doesn't have a humidifier. But I can get one in my room, right? And you saw that. I know I'm not gonna try to use so. As far as my stuff, I have already cleared my slate coincidentally because of all the old videos being uploaded. And I think you're aware of all my backlog is actually gone. So I'm happy that I got that done. It's like, you know what, push it out, and that was a few months ago, back in the middle of summer. But now, what to do, right? If you're wondering, I am actually working on a VTuber character called Brainless Roadkill, and this character decided to break that down into initials for each letter of the compound words, which would make it BLRK, which would be Blurk, which is where he would say, "That's a sound I made when I got roadkilled." And that's going to be a anthropomorphic cat character with a little bit of an 80s cyberpunk motif. Not, like typical. I'm trying to make it a little bit different, but I still like big hair. I'm going to try and see how I can incorporate that and still make sure I can get the ears to be seen. And that is my main goal to get accomplished right now, because my next thing to do before the end of the year is to make sure I get my voice reel frickin' done after 15 years? Yeah, I've been due, and it's mostly because I wanted to get my skill to a point where I felt like I was able to, go out there in a pro field, I eventually get into unions and be, part of the big names, and just, be able to entertain so many people with the amount of voices I have, because I enjoy the idea of sharing characters, worlds, and that's part of where I'm going to be also needing a 3D model, because I'm going to be needing that for the comic I'm working on. Because as much as I can, work with my hand now that I can, draw with the golden rectangle or golden circle that you can maybe see, it's like one that's the half the rectangle, and there's two rectangles, and then it goes, deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. But that is where my drawing is at, and I can draw usually the nice creepy stuff, but I feel my head always showing a lot more detailed stuff that may as well be in a video or animation, which makes me come to the fork in the road, to be honest. I'm not sure if I want to really stick to making it a comic if I get to the point of 3D modeling, or get to the point of animating it so it can actually show what's going on, so that it actually, gives that premise and feeling of the overall story. And, now that I'm soundboarding this to a camera and to all viewers in the process, yeah, I like the comics so much because it's like so much I can do dynamics, but I can also try in something new and different medium. But if I can cross this over some way, this is kind of where it's, trying to get things crossing over, but with a little bit of automation I can use, which comes with the benefit of 3D modeling. But was that a long enough sentence for you? This is where I get known for my run-on sentences and rambling, don't I? Just kidding, I'm not making a big deal about it. I don't worry about it like that anymore, because you know what, I'm like, you know what? If I'm kind of just letting everything go, just letting go, I'm going to be like, screw it. I'm making this as long as I need to. Who gives a fuck? I'm trying to see if that works for monetization or not. But then again, my channel is too small to be monetized. And one more thing. Somehow, in the last month or last week or so, I have seen my, Dr. Plays Five Nights at Freddy's videos getting, double digits in views, And I'm thinking, what the crap happened? Was it the short I did about commenting about the United Healthcare CEO? I'm like, okay, suddenly all of my Five Nights at Freddy's Dr. Plays videos are becoming popular on my channel again, even though it's been 10 years. So that's where it's also an area of, I can maybe alternate characters, to be honest. I can still use the Doctor, and I can still have the character that is the one I've really wanted to always kind of do, in the idea of, I'm not always the best being on camera for an extended period, otherwise I start getting self-conscious, going like, okay, they're still staring at me, and if I cough on camera, I feel, oh no, the facade is broken. And even though I don't like this right now, I feel like it'd be a lot easier behind a character where they can seem naturally crazy. Because I'm thinking that if anyone else sees me online acting like this, they will think, why did I escape the insane asylum? Had to get the rest of that cough out. Anyways, that is the end of this video. And if there's an addendum, it will be after editing, which should not be a thing. And if you've stuck around this long, I'm really grateful you have on this channel. And anyone new, welcome to the channel. And I'm Jessie D. And I am actually using my old voice again. I blame the cough for that. So my voice will be lighter. Eventually I'm going to do HRT. Well, my voice will be too much lighter, but you'll know how it's going to go. I'm going to be definitely different and, you know, probably a bit happier for it, as everyone's been congratulating me with. Multiple friends I told this to, and quietly, they were saying congratulations, and I was like, oh, thank you. It was the most amazing kind of feeling, I guess, is that you don't have to feel, you know, guilty for, you know, just trying to say, hey, I want to feel, you know, natural. And I'm not trying to report it, but, you know, I already kind of am. So, I really want to be happy with life because it's been so fucking long. If I were to start crying, I'm gonna end this video. So I'm gonna wish you, and yes, this is actually genuine crying, I'm not acting this out. Have a good morning, a good afternoon, a good evening, and good night. See you next time. Love you a lot. See ya. And don't worry, I'll be okay. See? It's just happy crying.